Actually not the quickest 3-0 ever. It somehow still took a long time,
it was like
but
an
it was a dominant
elongated
3-0. Exactly. Like they really dragged it out and let them bleed out there on the table. And, you know, sometimes that's what you're going to get. For now, though, we're heading into our second match. Don't say anything, Matt. Let's just let that one breathe.
Okay.
He's just like, okay.
Well, you told me to let it breathe, and you looked at me. I was letting it breathe. But...
I kind of expected you to interrupt me anyway, so I was making room for that.
No.
Fair.
You told
me
not, so I said okay.
And I love that about our relationship. Anyway, let's talk about our second match, shall we? We are going to see Qadsiah going up against Quick Esports. We expect this to be another rather one-sided affair. Obviously, Qadsiah is like the top team of the region. Very dominant moment against Twisted Minds. They also managed to find themselves on the back foot in quite a few moments in that series, later part of the series, and then somehow managed to rally the troops once again and come back from like 2-0 deficits on flashpoints and whatnot. So yeah.
If we want to use
what do you say, bro?
any sort of transitive property here, it's basically like Qadsiah beat Twisted Minds last week, and Peps beat the Esports last week, and we just saw Twisted Minds absolutely, unfortunately, roll Peps. So, as I probably would say, Qadsiah is probably going to make quite short, quick work of Quick Esports. Unfortunately, Qadsiah are just that team. I mean, this is they just came second in mid-season. They still look unbelievably good. I mean, they're still playing some sim, but they have the flexibility to not play that if they don't want to. So it's a very, very good-looking, unique team.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting, Zoe, with like how we got Chase in the starting lineup here.
Wow.
So that's a little bit of a different look right off the rip, right? Not having Ziad in, but I think like how KSA mentioned, like, you know, maybe obviously still Qadsiah and TM seem to be sitting at the top, but like don't discount like Virtus Pros. We see them later as like Sim kind of moves her way potentially out of the meta, and I'm curious like how Qadsiah starts to look as Sim gets phased out in some way, right? Because this is a roster that really kind of like rode that like Sim diva type of style to great success during the last stage, and they obviously have some time to kind of work on it throughout this one, but maybe they'll come back to earth a little bit.
It definitely, like, I'm super excited about this series, not because I think that Quick Esports is gonna, you know, make Qadsiah sweat for it, but I don't know where I was going for it. It has something to do with the Symmetra. Basically, like, I feel like they can make the Symmetra work against basically any team that isn't Twisted Minds. I think they will just continue to roll with it. Because why switch off of it? Because no other team managed to find a reply to it, right?
I actually think this opening is unlikely to have Sim, at least when Chase is in. When Chase is in, you're probably going to look towards a dive type of style. Chase is going to play some sort of dive tank. He showed a bit of Doomfist last week. I don't quite agree with that pick, but he also was showing a lot of Ball, which is quite popular in Korea right now. So Ball, I would expect, is going to be the choice of the day for Chase on an opening map. And Skytor also played some Ball last week as well. So we actually might be in for a Ball mirror straight away. That's what I think we're probably going to see.
Ball, Maga against Pexos.
I don't know about the Malga. That's a little weird. The Malga was...
don't think anything that worked particularly well for them, but you know, it was a very one-sided affair.
How about we do a Malga versus
Peps.
Doom? We should do a Malga versus Doom matchup, see who's got the worst tank in terms of choices.
The best part of that match was the post-game interview with Dip from Peps, because allegedly, according to sources being Dip, both teams had fun. So I'm very excited to see how much fun Quick Esports is going to have.
Like Quick Esports had lots of fun.
Going up against Qadsiah. Yeah, no, it really didn't. But this is not theirs to win, so you know they could just throw some curveballs.
That's true. I mean, Skytor, you know, kind of playing the gambit of tanks last week, just playing a little bit of everything. That's how I plan on getting my Junkrat loot box challenge done. Just, you know, going in, selecting whatever tank, running it down. But look, Quick Esports obviously had a good run. I know, very fun during our last stage. A little bit of a different roster here now. Just two really rough games to start their year. So no shame in potentially losing to Qadsiah if that's what it comes to. I want to see if they can run some of these like wackier types of things like they were running like last week, like the Maga and the Reinhardt, and run that against Qad.
Well, we're about to find out as our second series of the day is ready. Qadsiah going up against Quick Esports for all the action. It's going to be Avril and Matt on the mics once again.
Thanks, Zoe. Daryl, I want to say, Crystal, shout out. Just put the polls in here. So the chat points, channel points, 97% on Qadsiah, 3 on Quick Esports. I saw one person in the chat who said he accidentally put all of his channel points onto Quick Esports. So there might be like a lot of those points, maybe just one person, and they better hope something goes drastically wrong on the Qadsiah side.
This is gonna be 97% of people cleaning up and dividing between themselves whatever amount of points one poor person, one poor soul dropped in there. Or we're about to hit the jackpot. This one guy is about to be a OWCS points billionaire. Map 1 is going to be Lijiang, Matt. Qadsiah's choice, a decent ball map, I gotta say. I mean, Ilios would probably be a better ball map if that's what they were really heavily wanting to go towards. But I am sniffing out the ball. I think this is going to be ball. Unless ball is banned, which has been banned. Okay, so it's not going to be ball. Well, ball has been banned because quick no. Which means what? Hazard, Diva, hopefully not the Doom, hopefully not the Malga.
There's also the possibility, right, that Qadsiah just wants to get Chase some run, right? New to this roster, going up maybe a little bit of a lesser, easier opponent here. They feel like that they can play Chase, get him, some in-game reps, right? Make it a little bit easier. So we'll see how that plays out. The Lucio ban comes in here as well, where if you were going to ban Lucio, right, that's probably when you wanted to play some of the ball, different types of comps like that. So we'll see what that adjusts Qadsiah's game plan to.
Winston would be a good choice for Chase. And Lucio as well, interestingly enough, something I caught in the last week's game with Quick Esports, we didn't really see Strebo, I believe, play much of anything but the Lucio. So I wonder what this is going to put Strebo on, as typically you would probably have to play Wuyang here. But if you remember as well, Yonte was subbed in to play Wuyang on that second map. So question mark now for Quick Esports in terms of how they want to navigate this.
Yes, a lot of time, obviously, before the gates open, but it'll be control center here at the start. So we saw last week SkyTour play some Reinhardt here, so maybe that's an opportunity for Quick Esports. Didn't exactly work out for Quick Esports, but it was a really interesting try, especially when you're going against maybe a Zarya type of composition on the other side. And yeah, with this Qadsiah, having it be banned, the ball, you're looking at something like maybe Chase here on the Hazard. The Winston could be rough, especially if there's going to be like a Reaper on the other side, right? But at the moment, Qadsiah looks to be riding out this sim.
5, 4, 3.
Could just be a TP out of spawn as well, so we'll keep our eyes on what this actually does mean. But the Reaper coming in towards play, they're expecting Chase to be on that Winston. He's going to start on towards the Hazard instead. Labda this time, no Cassie, straight away. It will be the Sojimi. This is probably his specialty here as well.
You also end up dropping the sim here, so Checkmate will play the Tracer as Snowdrop will get on the point, try and get a touch here, and just kind of gain this positioning. But a nice dive there from Chase, puts down that jagged wall, just kind of like blocks off an exit there from Snowdrop, and just like that, the first 2 kills go in favor of Qadsiah. Snowdrop not able to make it out with his life. It'll just be the supports that survive, and that's an easy Qadsiah fight win.
Alex goes down to 1 HP there, but does not fall. And this is where Qadsiah buy time, allow Lab to time that opening pick, similar to what we saw out of Quartz in our previous match. And just like Quartz, Lab, he wants to be able to carry this game as he should. I believe that was a nice rail onto Evil. We saw in the HUD there as well. Evil dropped down to 1 HP very quickly.
Oh man, Snowdrop takes so much damage trying to get on in, right? Jumps in towards SkyTour. They get the Winston jump, then the TP, but you see SkyTour just taking so much damage. It's Labda putting the damage down. Checkmate here trying to follow it up.
Labda might have first ult here. Sands the pulse bomb from Checkmate, which just casually overtaken, but both the DPS of Qadsiah are in the lead. Quick Esports not really able to get any sort of engage. I mean, there's some low HP on the Qadsiah side, but Quick Esports, they can't quite follow up. This Labda shut down. The OC's gone.
I mean, that's a huge opening there with the overclock gone. Chase just trying to live for as long as possible, but with that Kitsune rush there from Yoham, you're able to push in behind that, so that'll get Quick Esports the flip. But the biggest kill right there, right, is getting rid of Labda in that overclock right away. Lambda, one of the better Sojourns in the region, and when he's got that overclock, you're almost like penciling in a kill or two. So the fact that that doesn't really get much of anything is huge there for Quick Esports and their chances to take this map.
Well, this is SkyTour now on his way in. You thought maybe the bubble from Strebel would come through to support, but not going to be the case for now. Because it's going to be Snowdrop. Strebel uses bubble on himself. I don't think he's going to blow anyone up, but he's actually going to be the player falling for that. So not the best use of ultimates. There is one trade back with Landon falling.
I think he was just trying to kind of keep himself alive there, Strebor, but you lose Snowdrop, you lose SkyTour, Lambda with 3. I mean, these are the types of things he can do on the Soj, and just like that, the next fight goes in favor of Alcad. I think, like you mentioned, it was a really interesting decision there from Strebor to try and use that on himself to keep him up.
I don't think he was that low either, but he might have wanted to engage on that. Could have been a misclick here as well. I would have expected to go into SkyTour, perhaps Evil. Use that Tracer, Death Blossom for the back, though. This is going to work a treat. Snowdrop just catches Kelix and Lambda. Pants down.
Yes, and now I think you're just looking to see if Alcatsia can just draw this out as long as possible, right? Chase using the power block, just trying to get any type of extra percentage. Checkmate going to have to back up. So just like that, Quick Esports able to get back in control. So they know actually here Landon, does he have anywhere to TP to? It looks like no. So you're going to lose the Kiri. You're going to have to wait for just a little bit longer, but maybe there's an opportunity here to follow this up, though. You get a lot of damage down on the Snowdrop. He has to back out. Same with Yoham, and that's going to be, a 6-stick there onto the downpoured, locked in Strebor there. So even when you lose Landon first, you're still able to win the fight for Alcat.
It is back and forth, though, Matt. 70 to 80% now. As I could see, we'll finally find that flip. Lambda looking for a much better overclock this time around. Unfortunately, whichever way you cut it, just didn't quite get the support this time to enable that OC. Doesn't quite have a Diva on his own team, but with Chase on the hazard, what he can do, take down SkyTour early. No primal use. Snowdrop falling.
Yeah, and now you push forward with this overclock, right? You see how strong Lambda can be with it. It'll be Evil who will get a touch. It's going to be the recall that comes out. It's actually Yoham from the high ground here. Has Snowdrop with him. They're going to use that Kitsune rush, but as you have to drop down here, just kind of contest the point. Everybody going to be trickling in one by one. It's actually SkyTour using the primal, but not able to make it back towards the point. So it'll be Alcatsia taking a pretty interesting round one, Kev.
There's 2 ultimates coming online as well. I mean, technically you'll say that's a C9, but there's only 2 members alive. Reminder, Snowdrop, SkyTour, the only ones up. SkyTour Primal focuses attention onto Lambda, which, to be fair, that is a prime target that you do have to get down. Snowdrop, not too sure how far away he was from the point, but unless it's the TP, which I assume he would have used out of spawn, didn't quite get the cooldown back. Not a lot of great ways to get back on that point. They don't quite have a... Well, their Tracer wasn't alive because Evil was down. So tough situation, but really the toughest part, Matt, was the fact that SkyTour got taken down super early in the previous fight, didn't get a chance to primal, and it was basically a spawn camp. Lambda OCs and just locks him into spawn. That was where the rug was pulled out for Quick Esports, and they lost all tempo of the game.
Yeah, Checkmate goes 14-0 during that first round. I mean, that is a sick stat line. He played so much Sim during the last stage that a lot of people forgot how great his hero pool is. Snowdrop in a lot of trouble. It's a Wraith form gone, and yeah, SkyTour trying to go in there, kind of help the Reaper get out, ends up giving up his own life.
It's both the DPSs, and now Lambda's going to go up one more as well. 13-0 for himself. That's just going to be the cleanup. Both the DPSs on the side of Alcat's here, stat panning as much as they can, and no surprises here, Matt. Straight away, get that cap in. Alcatsia, you could be right. This could just be giving Chase some reps, and while these reps looking good for him and his team so far.
Yeah, and I understand Snowdrop needs to be extremely aggressive, right? Get on the Reaper, goes in there, takes a lot of damage. Just trying to get him in and out of these situations, right? With the TP and the Wraith form, only so much mobility that Reaper has that once he starts to get low, the rest of the team try to get in the spots to, mitigate his potential death. Kind of puts everybody out of whack, but Checkmate here, just putting some pressure down in the backline. SkyTour dangerously low. That's Suzu gone already. So I wonder if you start to fight on this. Yeah, they're going to actually push in here. Will Alcatsia, and look at this. I mean, Quick Esports kind of trying to run their way towards the point, just trying to create any type of distance between them and Alcat, and it's just not working.
It's going to be the wrong call. They couldn't get back over towards spawn. They made the call to go over towards the point, which means it's going to be staggered respawns. These last few members, you would imagine, are going to go down. Stribber's going to reset off the map, and Johan falls to Calyx. And all of that without using a single ultimate. Qadsiah Landon had the first ult of the fight of the entire second round here, and Lijiang didn't feel the need to drop that one in. And Qadsiah moments away from finding all 5 ultimates in a commanding and strong position, 60% in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, round 1 was pretty competitive, but here in round number 2, I mean, this has been all Qadsiah. There's been really no opportunity for Quick Esports to get into it, as you see there, Landon, I think, just trying to bait some players in towards checkmate. So it's going to be all 5 ultimates available here for Qadsiah. It'll be an overclock there as Strebor ends up falling. Oh, it's a nice knockdown, though, from Evil. Gets the benefit of Strebor's ultimate. So 2 kills here in favor of Quick Esports, but checkmate on the opposite side of the map, still going crazy.
And this will be last fight coming in as well. That's terrible for Skyfall. Doesn't have a primal. He might go the entire round without a single primal here if he's unlucky. Couple of ultimates, importantly, still available for Quick Esports, but it's Kitsune Rush versus Kitsune Rush. One more touch enabled by Snowdrop, but he's got nothing left to play through, and he goes down.
Yeah, and without Snowdrop, I mean, that's a lot of the upfront damage that would have been threatening. Primal actually does come through from SkyTower, so gets it while inside of this Kitsune Rush. So Evil looking for a pulse bomb connection, doesn't come up with anything, as Qadsiah just backs out here for just a second. They may end up giving up the point here as Chase gets dangerously low, so does Labda, and Snowdrop back in the fight finds one.
Death Blossom, unfortunately, will get nothing, but the right click at least takes out Labda. A nice reprieve here from Quick Esports as they finally find this cap. Pulse bomb
on the side.
Oh, that's terrible for Strebor. Oof. That's probably the point. That might be the whole map.
Yeah, the Jagged Wall actually comes in and just kind of like the knockback off of it. He's so close to the edge. Actually takes out the Wuyong.
Where's Evil?
Quick Esports is does not look like anybody's going to be able to get a touch. So that is Qadsiah getting a first map win, looking as dominant as ever.
And you brought this up as we headed into the second round of 9 market, Matt, but Checkmate and Labda not only started that second round flawless, they will end flawless. 23-0 and 20-0. Not a single, well, not Labda rather, but Checkmate, not a single death. 23-0. Sorry, I got confused because there's a 0 assist there from Labda. He doesn't need any assist. Don't worry about that. It's the 23-0 from Checkmate. He didn't die a single time. Wow.
No, and especially like with some of the tracer perks where you're able to kind of get these blinks, have them up so often, makes a player like Checkmate, who's a fantastic tracer already, even that much more lethal. So you see some of the stats that definitely tells a little bit of the story here. As Qadsiah, look, a much different playstyle than we're used to seeing them play, at least you know, throughout all of stage 2, right? But different meta, a slightly different roster with the ability to field Chase, and they looked pretty good running this Hazard.
Chase is looking good. Ball might be banned, but his hero pull in the main tank position that he holds on this team, especially coming through on this Hazard, still very strong. And he delivers for this squad, but it was also just everybody on top of it. I mean, the amount of fights that we talked about where, oh, they get this first ultimate, they have ultimate advantage here, don't have to use it. They'll just simply find the picks, they'll win the neutral, and they'll just get the cleanup, start the spawn camp at a moment on that second point as well, Matt. Essentially, I think they had about 5 ultimates. They might have just been shy a little bit. Calyx was trying to find his title blast, but not quite there.
Now, is
and it's
there
just an
anything
entire highlight reel for
anything
Railcat
that Quick Esports could do comp-wise that would make it like a little bit more interesting or even easier for a player like SkyTower? Because you had mentioned, right? Just taking ages to build up towards Primal. It makes it very difficult to live on the Winston.
They banned the ball, so they didn't want to play the ball mirror. I gotta say, like, let's enable the ball mirror and see how that one goes, because at least in the first round of Control Center, they held their own. So a lot of these stats that you see here from the Quick side, the fact that they overall maintained a positive 1.09 KD, that was because of the performance on Control Center. Night Market, if you only look at that map, it's a complete opposite story, because they kind of got dominated there. So I wonder if maybe we go towards a flashpoint, enable the ball this time around, ban away something like a Hog. I don't know if Hog would actually be the choice coming through from Qadsiah, but you want to protect the ball, the way you would do that is ban away a tank. Probably the prime tank you want to ban away if you want to protect the ball properly would be the Hog, because Hog is being played as a potential ball counter. So that would be an option, because they ban away the ball, and I think maybe they probably should have just played the ball and not banned it.
Yeah, the ball head-to-head would have added a little bit of just kind of chaos to the game, which maybe Quick Esports needs to make this one a little bit closer. But fascinating where they decide to go for map number 2. But co-streamers, who you're obviously not live today, right? But who are our co-streamers, featured co-streamers? So Joystick and Apply. I mean, look at how dapper young Apply is right there.
Yeah, look at him go. Joystick as well. Big shout outs. And
Yeah,
go check out their streams. Go check out the streams. Want to see what they're getting up to and what they think about the games today, as we're hoping for a little bit more competitiveness coming on through. Otherwise, it may be a quick day for some of our co-streamers, maybe a quick day for some of us, but for Quick Esports to see if they can slow things down. I think that's what they need.
Absolutely, and I think when you kind of look at some of the maps, right, maybe they're looking at like a flashpoint potentially. If Sky Tower wants to play the Winston, is there I mean, we don't really see it here in EMEA that often, right? But potentially,
it's not an EMEA
like,
here,
do you
right?
try and play like Gibraltar? I mean, is that like a possibility? And look at that, they end up picking Gibraltar. So with Sky Tower wanting to play the Winston, maybe that's kind of where this team wants to go. There's not a lot of teams in EMEA who like to play this map, so could be a huge difference maker here for Quick Esports.
The other thing it really pushes towards as well is more long-range hit scan, which I don't think Quartz necessarily wants to play. He's really not been comfortable picking up that Freya. He's even during the hard Freya metas didn't really want to play it right. Labda, right, is the player I'm talking about here, is who I mean. So he's a player that doesn't really want to move towards the Freya. So if this is the choice of map, I think that's going to really put some pressure onto his hero pools also. If you want to target ban his hero pool, that would be probably quite a good one. I don't think Ashe is good enough to be played. Not too sure if this would really be much of a Widow choice for Labda, just looking at his hero pool. So that will be under contention. Yonte is going to come in for Strebel. We did see this yesterday for map 2, and Yonte ended up playing, I believe it was the Wuyang was what he was coming in for the entire way through.
Yeah, and there's a potential, like if you are Quick Esports, right? Do you ban something like a Sojourn and force Labda to end up playing like a Freya?
Yeah, Sojourn would be great.
Or a Widow.
Perfect
that would
ban.
be a really interesting one. He probably would fall back to the Cassidy. They play a ton of Cassidy last week, did Qadsiah. So the bans will go kind of completely different. So no substitution here for Qadsiah. So Chase will stay in the game.
Yep.
As Quick Esports, they'll get rid of the Baptiste here, and Alcat, they're gonna get rid of the Diva.
Yeah, the BAP could be, probably would have been played here. It's just, what do you really value here? I personally think targeting Labda on this map would have been the prime choice.
Yeah,
this is what would allow you to really shut him down. You're right, if you ban away the Soj, he probably moves towards the Cass, but I don't know if Cass is that great on this map. Even with the Silver Bullet, I don't know if he'll even choose that. But you just lack the range on Cass. You're really diveable. I think Cass is a bit of a trap to move into. So the maybe a little bit of a misstep here from Quick Esports. And then the Diva on the other side. Well, that's... I think Skytor would have preferred to play Winston. I'll have to get a bit of a checkup on this, because I don't know if Skytor really wants to play the Diva. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think is he more of a main tank hero pool player than an off tank hero pool player, to my knowledge?
Yeah, like no, last week we saw him play the Reinhardt, right? We saw him play Maga, Winston. Yeah, in theory, right? Traditionally more of like those quote unquote main tanks types that you would imagine that Skytor decides to play. Maybe you get rid of the BAP, because BAP's a pretty good combo with Cassidy, like up on the high ground, right? Landon fantastic on the Baptiste, but with Chase in, it's a pretty clear sign that maybe they want to play the ball or some more dive stuff, as we get Johan just spamming the voice lines, doing the skate around, and this is a pretty epic scene here. I love it. Little backflips from Sky
Fun
Tours.
fact.
Yeah.
Yonte is well, he at least was hovering over the Lucio for a while. I was curious about that. I was like, okay, well, you subbed in to make the same hero. I don't know if this is going to be a real hard choice, but the TP is gone, which could be a punishment. Speaking of which, Calyx is caught by Snowdrop very early on. So that's what that strat's about. TP4, look for a hook, look for a potential headshot. Now Skytor makes a choice. He does know there's a ball on the other side, but he does want to opt for the diving hero.
Oh yeah, and Snowdrop though in like a world of trouble, right? Like up there on the high ground, just goes to try and challenge Checkmate and Labda, and that is not the 2v1 you want to end up fighting. So although they do get Calyx really early on, right? The nice TP strat from Quick Esports up to the high ground. with a Roadhog hook and a Hanzo. They don't get anything for it, Avril. They get like almost no payload progress, and that's brutal. I mean, you set up those different types of like opening gate scenarios for pickoffs like that to kind of help you potentially snowball through the map, and it almost like doesn't even really help them get out of spawn.
And this is where you've allowed Lambda to play one of, I think probably actually is currently his best hero. And he will be able to find that counter trade onto Snowdrop quite quickly. And for Quick Esports now, Snowdrop desperately trying to find that opening headshot again. I don't know if he's going to be allowed to do so. He barely survives. Look at that 34 HP as he just gets caught by another rail as the rest of the team chase checkmate. Just get the cleanup on Quick.
And that is a sad position for SkyTour to be in. You see Chase knows it as on the Wrecking Ball, just causing all types of chaos outside of the Quick Esports spawn door. So Quick will get an opportunity to go yet again. The Hanzo, although it's good for like these like long range, you know, or one-shot type of scenarios, very easily diveable, right? Especially for like Chase and checkmate.
Certainly can be, and it's difficult to protect them. You really only have the Suzu until, or if maybe your Wuyan can find something there as well. Speaking of Suzus, Johan not there to use it on himself as Landon gets a clean up. Qadsiah, I mean, this just might be a spawn camp, man. I don't know if Quick Esports are even going to move the payload at all.
This looks like a game of TDM right now. I mean, you know, obviously it's dive, and at times players can end up all over the place, but Quick Esports just kind of throwing their bodies into the grinder. That's Qadsiah.
Look ball now.
I can go.
Yeah. Ball top left. Wait, sorry. Let me set up so I can go. Oh, try on me. There's.
Straight half.
I'm top diving, just getting some straight. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Okay, Jimmy, can you
I can.
Yeah, I can.
He's ulting me.
Oh, I'm stealing that shit.
I'm dead.
You're standing on top of him, I can't see you.
Yeah, I mean, we're soft diving and also calling to go in at the same time.
I mean, I was chilling. It's okay.
It's alright. These clock, they should have everything else.
I'm gonna help you guys. Yeah, I'm jumping top there. Looking to see where they are.
Both
top left on me.
Curious is back.
I'm stuck.
Oh, I'm dead. I'm around my spawn.
We need a miracle bag.
Not happening.
We need my arrows to become logs.
Can we just all like prep? Can you set up to just go top right, and then just like skip past them all? I'm just gonna jump in with SkyTower and press my Q button, and hopefully we get a kill.
Yeah, okay, I can drag in top as well.
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's fucking make a move, guys.
Go,
Get involved.
3, 2, 1.
I'm going.
Kill this guy. Kill this.
Say one.
That.
We're going.
Don't see Lijiang.
What's up? I'm looking up.
Yeah.
Trainer re.
Wait left.
All back.
Hey, Avril, they were talking about snowdrops, arrows turning into logs. He finds Kellex here. Maybe this is the opening that they needed, and I say that, and nobody touches the cart. Okay, so what's game escort that ends at 25 meters?
Yeah, that is one of the shortest escorts of all time, unfortunately. I also caught a little bit in there that was one of the more distressing comments, which is, guys, we need a miracle, is what I heard in the comms. Yep. That was slightly before the I need my arrows to turn into logs comment from Snowdrop. Although, to be fair, his opening arrow was a log directly into Calyx. The sad thing is, Quick Esports couldn't do much with that. As we got out of that comms, Matt, I mean, we're essentially just hearing...
There's nothing to talk about.
Let's just do something. Let's try something. Let's just... Let's just jump in and get this guy. Let's get this one guy, and then they just don't touch the point at the end, I guess.
If they needed a miracle, or they thought they needed a miracle in that position, I'd be fascinated to know what they think they need now. What I don't even know what is what would be stronger than a miracle to occur. But it's really only it's you get like 2 or 3 kills here if you're Qadsiah. I mean, not even 2 or 3. If you get like 1 or 2, you're taking the map.
They need some stadium powers. Quick Esports, they should get the stadium powers, and Qadsiah just play as they are, and then we'll see how that goes, and maybe even more even game. But unfortunately, man, sadly, this is a little bit of an expected result we had, as we saw in our Peps TN game as our opening control, maybe looking a little bit competitive, but once you move away from control, it's a lot more difficult Qadsiah so making some decisions in spawn, trying to trick their opponents. They're going to make the same TP hook play, and they're going to find anybody in chase. He's going to stay on the hog there. He's going to push right through.
Yeah, Snowdrop gets one. Okay, Evil gets another, but I think though, if you're Qadsiah, like these kills almost like don't mean anything, right? Like any pick-off you get is so impactful.
He did push the entire high ground. That might... Okay, well, he's not going to kill, unfortunately. They are losing too many members here. I was going to say there may be a positioning advantage for the side of Qadsiah despite all of this, but the only play they're going to pick up is Labda eventually onto Yonte.
But any trade they get here, I mean, Labda with 2, I mean, that's insane. Any trade they get here is so much better for them, obviously, given the spawn advantage and where things are, right? You can just kind of flood out of the spawn here if you're Qadsiah, and you're in good shape. I believe you got Skytor here.
About to cap.
You got Evil as well. Yeah, the payload just kind of crossing the line. Nobody can get a touch. So that was Gibraltar. And Qadsiah ends up winning it. That is... That obviously is a map pick there for Quick Esports, trying to get something going with the dive up on the high ground, but most certainly did not work out for them, Avril.
I'm surprised we even have deaths on the side of Qadsiah this time around, but otherwise pretty damn flawless. Tell you what, North America is going to need to wake up early. I'm talking about the teams and players because we're rolling into NA after EMEA, and EMEA may be finishing very soon based on the speed that we are moving through. Part of the reason why our first series even took a little bit longer was because of the pauses. This time around, no pauses, all action, and all the action is coming from the Qadsiah side.
Well, I feel bad for obviously Quick Esports. Last week, Dip said that both teams had fun. It sounded actually from their comms, from the listening, it sounded like they were having fun. So maybe still having some fun here today. But the person, Chad, who put all their channel points, all their hard-earned channel points on Quick Esports, I mean... that's a rough look right now. We got to keep you away from casinos. You shouldn't be allowed to make some choices like that. But right now,
you'd have better odds at a casino, actually. They're the odds of Quick Esports winning this one, sadly.
Yeah, you actually might. But we'll see if there's any possibility for Quick Esports to make this closer. But right now, this just looks like Qadsiah doing what they're supposed to do as the best team in the region.
Correct, and it's getting tough because as much as we talk about where should they go, what can they ban, and they could do that flawlessly. You could go to Gibraltar, maybe you ban, based on my recommendation, the Soja instead of the BAP. I don't know if that changes enough. It would have
made a difference.
Yeah, it would have shifted your win rate up by some marginal percentage points, but not enough to be able to put a real dent. Maybe it would have pushed them further along the point on A and pushed them towards the end. That could have been a possibility, but this is clearly one of those games where it is a drastic skill difference in the region, and as KSA said in the interview, Matt, outside the top 3, the tier gap is quite large.
Yeah, and I think if you're Quick Esports, just pick whatever map you feel comfortable on, want to end up playing. Good to see Chase get some run here for Qadsiah, like having the ball in the mix. I think that's something worth talking about. Is a completely new look for this team, something that with Ziad, you wouldn't exactly kind of fit into his hero pool.
Yeah, so this is what you need. This is what you need to be able to round out your team more. This is Qadsiah showing and proving that they have made changes to their roster that allows them a lot more flexibility, that they can be a team that doesn't have to rely on Sim. Of course, they have Sim in the back pocket, as we know them to be a top-tier Sim team, but this is a statement that also says we don't have to play the Sim. We can put Chase in, we can play Dive, we can play Ball, we can play whatever we want, really. Play Checkmate Tracer, and he had carry on the Tracer. He went flawless on our opening Lijiang, didn't die a single time across both those rounds. So it really doesn't matter. They can play Sim or they don't have to play Sim. This is what a top team looks like.
That map was only 5 minutes and 9 seconds. That's insane. That like a game of Gibraltar lasts that that goes by that fast. I mean, Escort traditionally is like one of the maps that goes the longest. I think just kind of adds to some of the dominance there from Qadsiah. And okay, this is another map we actually don't see that often in EMEA. We saw the ultimates go to it at times during stage 2, but really a lot of these teams go towards like Eichenwald and Kings Row. It will be Hollywood, our next map selection.
Yep. We'll see where the bans come through. This is where I do want to see the Soj ban. Of course, Cass is going to be much better here. This is the missed opportunity, right? Soj is going to be a much better choice for Lambda on the Gibraltar compared to the Hollywood, but you do need to start shutting these individuals down. Big question will be for SkyTalk. What does he play this time around? Because he's mostly looked towards the Winston today. He himself has not picked the ball yet. I wouldn't recommend the Malga. That wasn't a good look, and I don't think it will be a good look. So we're also not seeing any Tom following out of Chase. He's not looking over towards the Doom, and I hope he doesn't pick up the Doom for this particular map either. That wouldn't. Sadly, they'll probably win with the Doom, but it's not a good choice. So I probably would not like to see that.
We'll see if Jonte stays in for Quick Esports as well. That's one thing to kind of look at as he got subbed in there for Gibraltar. There's also the possibility for Qadsiah to kind of bring in Ziad, right? If you wanted to play some of the D.Va here, or if you think that kind of makes it on through. SkyTalk wanting to play the Winston, right? The D.Va actually really good like against Winston. So possibility that you see them bring in Ziad. But like I talked a little bit about at the top of the match, like if you're going to play Chase and give him some run, like this is a perfect opportunity to kind of like test some of these comps out. Because
play him through, I think.
I mean, that's what Landon talked about, is like for this team here in this final stage, it's a lot about just kind of like expanding what the team can do, mixing in different kind of compositions, seeing how things fare, because they want to make sure by the end of the year and by Stockholm, like they have everything at their disposal to be able to play at a high level.
Yeah, because we don't know where the meta is going to go at that time, and so obviously they had a great meta situation for mid-season, but it may not go that way again for the finals. And even given that, unfortunately, the finals was very Falcons one-sided in their favor, and Qadsiah not quite where they would have wanted it. The Hog is going to be gone here, which suggests to me the possibility that the ball is going to come on through. Lucio gone for the side of Quick Esports. We didn't see a substitution. My guess is Yonte's still in there. He's going to be playing the Lijiang once more, removing that Lucio option away from Calyx to make sure that he's also going to be on that Lijiang. But this could be a ball versus ball matchup here, given that the Hog is banned at sea.
Well, there's also the possibility for Qadsiah, right? Qadsiah could play like the Cassidy with the Baptiste, right? Potentially like even thinking about the defensive end, right? So still some options available, but looks like Jonte's still in here for Quick Esports, and then Chase still in for Qadsiah. So no subs after Gibraltar. And yeah, I mean, Hollywood just a really like, I can think off the top of my head like 1 or 2 times we saw it in EMEA during stage 2. This is not a map that we have even seen anybody go to yet. This is the first time we've seen the Hollywood pick an EMEA here in our final stage. So not a map that a lot of these teams want to play.
I would have said Zarya, but I don't think I'll tanks in this lineup of either team necessarily will move in that direction. So as mentioned, ball is an option, but it will be Winston for SkyTalk. Chase will move back over towards the Hazard. Could have also been a Winston mirror coming on through. Qadsiah, possibility for a Reaper is actually quite strong on this map. I actually think this is a super good Reaper map, given that Reaper started to find some real value in the current meta. Given that Quick Esports have already loaded through in terms of their defensive composition. They're on the defensive side. This is their real comp. Snowdrop once again on the Hanzo. I don't know if this is really a good open DPS pick. A Cass or a Soj would probably be a little bit stronger in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't understand the Hanzo pick. It's not a hero I at least believe to be pretty strong in the current meta, but you know what? Lambda will play it on offense as well, so we'll get a little bit of a Hanzo head-to-head. Really, the only difference is that main tank role, right? I know having Chase play the Hazard versus the Winston as seems like SkyTalk. That's all he wants to do today.
Not a bad hero, specifically when it's not being counterpicked, although we'll see how much that ends up helping him. Qadsiah is already making their way gradually on the point. Look at that wall. Beautiful stuff. That might be a kill already on SkyTalk. He's critical.
And he goes basically down to like 2 bars of health. He's actually able to make it out, but in the process, you're just going to lose just about everybody else. I mean, Yoham's going to TP there to SkyTalk up on the high ground, but that is going to be a first point take here for Qadsiah. I mean, they're going to have like above 5 minutes to work with here as we move through the rest of the map. So
it's a 3v5 chase. Look at it. There's 2 players from Qadsiah dancing on the point as they cap it. The other 3 members from Alcat running forward. looking for the spawn pick. Snowdrop is at least going to surprise Lab that with this Widowmaker pick, and he'll stay on it for some time and maybe find some value here. Will eventually get chased down, and pun intended, it might end up being chased in his face.
Yeah, we'll see if that's the case. But Snowdrop with the Widow swap here, right, getting some of the high ground is seems like wants to play a lot of the snipers today, right? Played a little bit of Reaper in the first map, and then after that it's been Hanzo, and then now Widow. Once the Widow goes to the low ground, doesn't have the grapple. I mean, that is as easy of a target as it gets. Skytor trying to jump up, get out of dodge, but jumps right up into Landon and Chase, and that'll keep the payload consistently moving here through the second part of the map, Avril. And this is brutal for Quick Esports. I mean, they haven't been able to build up towards much of anything.
Yep, and Skytor's not going to have his primal here because the ball choice has come on through in terms of a swap. Meanwhile, I could see it looking good with Landon already having Kitsune rush. Kellex has barely had any heals to do because his team isn't taking that much damage. By the way, Payload nearly the end already.
I saw that's a pick off there. Checkmate yet again. I was going to say takes out Snowdrop. The pulse bomb doesn't even have an opportunity to go off onto Jonte, and this is going to be a second point take. This is like world record level speeds here coming out from Qadsiah. Above 5 minutes and 20 seconds here to complete the map. They haven't even really had to use that much to kind of win these fights, right? They're just starting off with Checkmate going crazy as Snowdrop is on the flank here, it looks like.
He will be trying to have some fun, and you know, the mountain of things that Quick Esports could be doing better here. I think the number one thing for me is definitely the lack of tempo. They are a dive team. They are playing Winston. They are playing ball, and Kellex should have died there, and Snowdrop wishes he hit that shot.
Oh no.
As unfortunately it will just whiff past the face of Kellex, and Kellex will get his revenge instantly. Unlucky for Quick, unlucky for Snowdrop.
Like that. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it's a little bit a little swing and a miss there. It's all right. Snowdrop does have the imprecise, maybe off the spawn. Gives him a little bit of an easier look, but right now, Quick Esports just trying to stop the bleeding. The card has been basically just running it down the entire time. Skytor dangerously low, just trying to live. No line of sight on the healers. He will fall
very easily as well. And for side, I'm not too sure is going to really be able to help you here. You can't even look at this. You just have Checkmate in his face, and Checkmate, even with the bubbles, going to drop him. Landon TPing in for a little bit of assist. You have a spawn camp initiated by a support and the Tracer player, and you're about to just see the fastest cap plus time bank you could imagine for Qadsiah. Genuine world record stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is just as fast as it could possibly be. Snowdrop finds one in the spawn. Alcad finally gets somebody back onto the payload to keep it moving. But this looks like there is limited to no resistance here on defense. Jonte over the high ground on the Wuyong, just trying to find anybody there. Does not find anything. Is Chase? I think he might have DC'd there for a second.
It looked like he was typing in chat or something. He was out
typing in chat, DC'd. Maybe he's opened up a video on another monitor.
He's changing his song, you know. He's wasn't feeling the vibe on whatever track was playing.
Just jumps into the corner there. It looked like maybe just a ping spike, but this one as close as it could be. So
won a fight, Matt.
They did win a fight. So let's see if they can keep that going.
So we're not going to get a world record cap, but it will still be an unbelievable finish.
It's going to be fast.
Skytor will be able to get away momentarily, but it does look like he's in the middle of nowhere right now, and on the chase is just about everyone for Qadsiah. Kellex went down to 1 HP, but does eventually go down. Skytor finds his mark. Okay, things are happening here for Quick Esports.
So this is a harder part of the map to actually kind of get through, right? We do see teams kind of like stall out here as Chase with the spike card actually takes out Yoham as looks like Chase no, not going to be able to make it out with his life. So Quick Esports gets yet another hold. I do worry. Oh, it looked like Evil may have typed the chat there and ends up getting taken out. Snowdrop just walks on top of the pulse bomb. I mean, this is getting insane. But you're gonna have members for Qadsiah coming out spawn. Lab is gonna end up having the blade. We'll see how that pays off, but they may not even need it.
At this point, dude, be feeling like Clash A&E right now, but what I mean by that is the final points of Clash, and well, eventually the better team will be able to find the finish. They took about 2 minutes longer than we expected them to. I think the initial cap time was looking to be about a 4-minute time bank, which, by the way, would have been... Qadsiah, had that been the case, Qadsiah would have finished the entire map within the first 4 minutes of the initial 4 minutes that you get for the first point. So basically, the 4 minutes you get for point A is what they would have used for the whole map to finish, which is an incredible thing. But here they actually got pushed to 2 minutes because they lost a couple of fights there. I don't know what happened to Chase. He just looked at the wall and AFK'd for about 3 or 4 seconds, and all momentum was lost for Qadsiah.
And
that's the only criticism there.
I would love to know how many deaths Checkmate has for the series. I mean, it's got to be like
he's got one this map,
max, maybe
0 map 1. I can't remember what map 2 was. We might need a
it can't be many. As Quick Esports now on offense. We'll see. They went to the Moira there towards the end. We'll see if they decide to play it here.
4 total. 3 on Gibraltar, 1 on this map, 0 on Lijiang. So 4 total.
That's pretty good. Pretty good for the series. Is Labda playing the Sombra here. So we typically see Labda play a lot of the hit scan. Sombra obviously very good against like the ball, let's say. Could end up being very impactful. Would have thought he would have went to the Cassidy, but decides not to do so.
And he's just going to instantly try just hard counter pick the ball here. It's even a counter pick towards a Widow. He's just assuming Snowdrop's not going to just do an opening Widow shot. Snowdrop's going to stay on this Widow, which doesn't mean Labda has a prime and easy target to go on. Not a hero that we expect normally, as mentioned, onto Labda, but a shot required from Snowdrop and a shot not found.
Okay, so Snowdrop does find Landon, as Landon just kind of playing out in the open, a little bit of a BM there, just trying to challenge. Is okay, now Snowdrop's starting to come alive, right? They needed this a little bit more on the defensive side of things. Finds 2 right off the rip, but there's still players kind of lurking here on the flank. But this looking much better here, at least initially, for Quick Esports.
This is a cap. This might be a cap. Labda's back on the legs now. He's going to try and run into play, but without Chase there, things are going to get difficult. Checkmate needs to stay alive for the eventual touch. He's in a 1v1 with Evil, which he wins. But I don't think there'll be a touch engaged here at all. Chase has moved up towards ball, but not close enough, and no teammates available to do anything about it. I think this is a strange choice from Labda, particularly because there is a ball and a Sombra on the other side. Surely the Sombra, sorry, a ball and a Widow on the other side. Surely staying on the Sombra would have been the choice.
So they did end up playing some 76 last week. Labda did, and look quite good. So maybe something they want to try and work out into it is it's going to be Checkmate here. Just he has been lurking behind them for so long. Difficult for anybody to kind of go back to try and challenge him, right? Skytor just okay, well, just fat fingers his ultimate there. Just pulse bombs the tree.
Shout outs to Custa.
Yeah, I mean, this is a little Custa tribute moment there from Checkmate, but even without having that pulse bomb, I mean, they have bullied Quick Esports all the way back to their initial spawn. He knows he's yeah, okay. We were saying I thought he thought that the spawn would be active to get health back again, but
no, he does. I don't think he
clearly didn't.
I was gonna say I don't think he really wants to get health there. Well, I guess he does, but there's a case in there that he wants to get healing from his supports. They can charge ultimates, but that's maybe thinking too deep. We even got a Mercy out of play
at that point.
We're getting a Mercy to play now, and this is getting into a weird territory even for Qadsiah.
I mean, hey, you know, now you get the Mercy, right? You end up pocketing Labda on the 76, trying to make some sense of this. And you'd be a good spot. This is
we're having too much fun today. Snowdrop just got the bubble from Wuyong for some reason.
Put on the Widow with nobody around. So that, as you can imagine, results in nothing. Snowdrop misses Kellex floating through the air, and here comes Chase. So we got a little Mercy sighting, a little Mercy gameplay here. For all the fans out there, as we get a coalescence here from the high ground. This one has gone off the rails. Off the rails may even be a light way of saying it. We're now fighting.
This train has gone off road.
We're now fighting inside of the green screen room. This one, like the payload is still making some progress from Quick. Although it doesn't feel like it, I think it's just because Junte's just on the point alone, not participating in really anything.
Oh, Landon will get the punish on the Snowdrop there. Given how fast Quick Esports actually capped aim at, they have a reasonable time bank to work with. Probably at this stage not enough to finish the entire map given the skill difference of the team, but they kept A so quickly. They had just a huge amount of time to play through for B, which means Qadsiah, regardless of what you think about the composition and whether they're playing super seriously or not, they have to still play through the rest of this 2 minutes and 40 seconds defensively, whether their comp is super sweaty or not.
Something tells me they're going to be fine. Kellex up in the sky again, just dodging the Widow shots. We can't show Snowdrop. I'm starting to feel bad a little bit catching all these. Like we caught a few where he's able to get 2, but catching a few of these just kind of missing the floating mercy through the sky as okay, Skytour's going to end up using the mines up on the high ground and actually gets Kellex with the mines before he gets the res. So maybe that's an opening here.
And Lab is trying his best to do something with that tack visor. Skytour's got a number of kills here. I mean, silly or not, Quick Esports are going to try as much as they can to really push this payload towards the end, force the final fight here.
Are they trying as much as they can, Aaron?
Quick Esports are definitely... I think Quick Esports I kind of try. I question how hard Qadsiah is trying, to be honest. That's the team that is definitely more questionable right now, despite them winning.
So Valkyrie available. Kellex can obviously gonna use this for the damage portion of it. See,
he
nothing
missed time to fade, by the way.
Yeah, and yeah, they don't really get anything with Jonte's ultimate there. I think they kind of use it like really early, and as you mentioned, the fade there from Yoham doesn't get close enough.
Well, no, if the bubble pops during the fade, you don't get the pop damage or the knockdown. So he messed up the timing. He was trying to fade the bubble in and pop it on top of them out of the fade, but he just missed the timing on that. Unfortunate.
This will solve the problems, though. Junkrat here for Evil. The good old
Get your loot boxes. Get your loot boxes.
Yeah, you don't actually get more loot boxes if you play Junkrat. It's just the Junkrat loot box thing. You don't have to do this, Evil. But they'll bring out the tried and trusted Junkrat Wrecking Ball Sombra combination here. It's Yoham using the Coalescence. That's a Kitsune Rush gone here from Landon. This one has just gone all over the place, Avril. I mean, there's
part of me wishes Mitch would be here to do his legendary play-by-play over this gameplay we have in front of our eyes currently. That would be truly the rap god of this gameplay. Would be a clip to be remembered for the ages.
Okay, hold on. Junkrat making space here, right? A little summer Junkrat skin. Okay, all right. So maybe they might cap this game as all of the fans in production have requested. This game must continue. The fight must still continue as Quick Esports trying to make this happen. Did he just switch off the junk? All right, we're back to the Junkrat now. Okay, this is he's got to use his mind to kind of get to the high ground and try and dive with this ball here.
I think I know what happened. NA teams have messaged Qadsiah and said we don't want to play too soon.
I don't think.
Can you please slow these games down for us so our schedule doesn't get pushed too far forward?
I don't think Snowdrop's EMP connected with anything. I think everybody like got around the corner and then Checkmate was in the middle of recall. So the EMP doesn't get rid of anything. Chase uses the mines as Evil here using the double mine dive combination of the junk, trying to chase a Lambda. So they have him in the spawn. They have Lambda trapped. It's just the issue is now they're being ran through by Chase and Checkmate. And yeah, I don't think Lambda has decided to stay in the spawn. I mean, that's a fantastic play. They cannot go any deeper to try and get him.
I'm surprised this is all they capped. It felt like Quick Esports had enough time free on the payload. They should have moved up a little bit further. I thought we were about to cap through the map and actually go to a genuine time bank on Hollywood. Still 17 seconds to decide if that's going to be the case. He's going to double pack it.
All right.
He's going to do it.
It's a little bit hard from the close to space, but I like
he got there, but then he used his mine onto Landon and actually helped Landon get away. Landon dies anyway, but
Quick Esports might keep this going though. So you have the minefield. You're gonna have Coalescence here. They just have to keep somebody on the payload. It's a snowdrop now over to the Bastion. Chase will end up falling here to the Bastion. Yoham using the Coalescence, gonna push in behind. There is the chance we end up with overtime in this game as Kellex kind of dancing side to side here on the Mercy. They gotta wait for Chase to get back. He's gonna drop that minefield on the point. That would be what holds it here for Qadsiah.
It's going to be the Valk from Calyx. This will be the game changer for sure. You heard it here first. This Calyx will be flying around. And at this point, Quick Esports, they don't look like they're getting enough kills at all. I think it's all over at this stage. Both their main tank and one of their DPS is gone. It's a 2-for-2 trade, but Qadsiah better spawns here as a reminder.
Oh no.
Unless...
Oh no. Yoham and Junte still alive. Chase just trying to spin to win it. I think he got Snowdrop coming off a spawn. This might be doable here for Quick Esports. They are not able to get rid of Chase just yet, though.
Just so Sai.
Snowdrop, though, back on the Tracer. Finds 2. Looks like Labda just trying to live here. With Checkmate, Labda's somehow able to live. They can't really deal with SkyTour, though, as he gets 2, and we get more Overwatch here between Quick Esports and Qadsiah.
I think we should bring Zoe in for a tri-cast for the rest of this.
This one might get serious here.
That's the series broadcast that we have going on today.
We do have draw potential on the cards here.
Because what we really want is a 4th map. Matt, that's what we really want here. A 4th map.
We do have draw potential on the cards here, so cannot discount the possibility of a draw. 2 minutes here for Qadsiah on offense to get a checkpoint here to secure the series. I mean, Checkmate has just been farming the entire time. 39 and 5.
Unfortunately, Checkmate could have ended with 4 deaths total. Now he's going to end with 8. He just picked up more deaths, sadly, Matt. He's up to 8 total deaths now over the course of the series.
Avril, I would love for you to break down for the fans at home. What's the why Snowdrop now picked up the Junkrat and Evil moved over to the Widow?
Well, see, Quick Esports, contrary to the name, there's nothing quick about this map today, and the best way to slow it down is, and it does require a little bit of coordination from the other team as well, but the best way to slow things down is for both teams to
I think you can tell
as seriously as possible.
I think you can tell Qadsiah wants to get out of here now because
this
of the comp they've chosen. This is looking like more like a real comp. Yeah, this is looking like an actual comp now. Dude, this is like a quick play staple Junkrat maneuver here. He has come out, revealed his position. He was all in to try and get Landon, and that does not work. So now you're down a player. It's all on Evil, and Evil is now dead. So
thank God.
This is becoming much harder here for Quick Esports to potentially win it. And it looks like Qadsiah will get the checkpoint here. Avril, that'll secure a 3-0 sweep of Quick Esports, but got kind of wild, kind of wacky there towards the end.
That's one way to put it. That's one way to put it. And yep, Evil certainly has been triumphed over today. And I'm not talking about specifically the player, I just meant in a general way, as we're out of that series, Matt. I think the first 2 maps, decent amount that could be said, some reasonable showing, particularly on map 1. Similar to what we got on our first series, Matt. Some reasonable showing from Quick, some competitiveness, but that full hold on Gibraltar completely broke everything. And Hollywood was more the same, and to the point where Qadsiah even decided to sort of take their foot off the pedal almost entirely at stages and just allow the vehicle to roll towards the end. Quite fitting for Hollywood, given that is what the escort payload actually is. But we got there at the end. We got the result at the end.
I mean, 41 and 5 from Checkmate. That's insane. And the DPS players on Quick Esports, they are not cowards. I mean, 18 deaths for Snowdrop, 16 for Evil. They are taking any fight they can. Aggressive play from them just does not result in a win. Qadsiah, we thought they would 3-0 Zoe, and they took care of business.
They did, and not without having fun with it, which that's awesome. Good for them.
They did.
Did I want to see the legs out, the wings out? Not really. I felt like we could have done that one a little quicker, but you know what? We got treated to a series, and yeah, Quick Esports, they didn't go down without a fight. I also actually thoroughly enjoyed the little listening we had. Because honestly, I kind of did. Because it wasn't doom and gloom. I mean, were they asking for a miracle? Yeah, but I still heard some laughs and giggles. You know, if you're going up, you can't take this series too serious. Because you are going up against Qadsiah. This is literally no teams to win. everyone is expected to lose against them. So if you do so, at least do it in style, at least have fun with it, use it as a training ground to just like try something out. Qadsiah took the bait there as well, you know, they were having fun with it, so why not?
Yeah. Silly gets contagious quite quickly in the server.
It does.
You know, once you see somebody doing something a little silly, it just kind of plants the seed in the back of everybody's mind, and then it's like, oh,
Right.
I could play Hanzo too. Why not? I love playing Mercy. What? Like, hey,
The
throw that out
Hanzo wasn't even the unserious. That was part of the serious part. When
No,
we started
Hanzo was
in a
the
Hanzo
serious
mirror,
part, yeah.
that was actually, you know, part of the serious gameplay. It was after. I don't even know when it started. Was it the Widow swap? That's sort of like you can sort of still see the vision there. To me, the confirmation was when Lavda went Soldier. Then I'm like, oh, here we go. The circus has begun. That
Once
was the
somebody
confirmation
goes
to me.
Junkrat, it's kind of the universal sign of like, all right, everybody just
Honestly,
play what you want.
the Junkrat low-key created space. Just throwing it out
Do
there.
not try and sell me on Junkrat.
I don't have
Are you
to.
Jake Overwatch?
I might be, and I'm in your comms right now. For now, though, Qadsiah taking that one 3-0, everything as expected. And we learned really nothing new about this team. I think the next real test for them is if they're going up against VP. They already have Twisted Minds out of the way. So it should be overall the entire stage pretty smooth sailing for them.
I did learn that I think this team is quite flexible. They have the capability to play Chase. I mean, this is definitely going to be the game where Chase isn't going to be pushed the hardest either. But they played Chase the entire way through. They showed off a different amount of looks with Chase on the team in terms of the compositions. Chase was willing and able to play a decent number of heroes between the Winston, the Hazard, and the Ball, which we already knew about. But to be able to execute in the style that they did was nice to see. At least when you really look at the first two maps in the first half of Hollywood, Qadsiah, you know, full control of the entire game, particularly the Gibraltar, was just clinical. There was just nothing there for Quick at all, to the point where they were basically begging for a miracle. So, yeah, we did learn that Qadsiah very flexible as a team now with Chase.
Now, for Quick Esports, though, I mean, round one on Control, they definitely fought back. That was close-ish. If we just, I don't know, like just single out that very performance, and then we try to apply that in their upcoming match against Gen G. Will it look more competitive? Is this one they can win? What do you think?
Who knows? I have no clue. I think anybody who tells you what would happen with Quick Esports after seeing them play, like, you know, Junkrat Bastion, Wrecking Ball comps on Hollywood, sure, it could be close. It could be this. It could be something in the middle.
No, I think that will be a better game for them. That'll be a better matchup with Quick, where they will have a reasonable chance of winning. It will really depend on where Gen G develop as a team. There's some big question marks there. But as we sort of see sometimes, Control is that game mode where you do sometimes see a little bit more of a scrap and things get a little bit closer. It's also sometimes just that first round as well, as teams are sort of warming up into that one. But Quick Esports, they played a good comp there. They started out with the sort of